Hi everyone, welcome back to another interview series. My name is Mher from St. John's, and today I have the privilege to interview Michelle Schafer from Ottawa. Hi Michelle, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Meher. So glad to be with you today. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So, Michelle is an ICF certified career and leadership coach, author and facilitator who help professionals navigate career transition with confidence and purpose. After experiencing two unexpected restructuring early in her career, Michelle discovered her true path, supporting people to move from job search frustration, which we are all here to learn, into work that energizes them. Uh, as founder of Michelle Schafer Coaching, she partners with clients across federal and municipal government, high tech, financial services, and non for profit sectors, helping them clarify career direction, craft compelling personal brands, and land roles where their values align. And she is also an award winning bestseller, Cultivating Career Growth, Navigating Transition with Purpose, and her recognition as one of Ottawa's top coaches in 2024. Thank you, Michelle. So,
Thank
first thing,
you.
Michelle, so I tell people and the clients I'm helping before applying to any job, you need to know your values. You need to know what makes you you and what are you looking in job. So in that sense, what can people do to have that value identification?
Yeah, I think that's such a great question. And it's something that not everybody will do. They will focus very much when they're applying for jobs on communicating the things that they've done, like
Mhm.
tasks and responsibilities and projects, things like that. But it's not as common to really think back about, okay, well, what is it that I can truly do for another organization?
Mhm.
And it is that value that is really important to know and to be able to articulate, like in your resume, in your LinkedIn
Mhm.
profile, in an interview, when you're talking to people and having a networking coffee. And it's because organizations are more interested to know, not just in terms of what you've done, but what is the value that you can bring to them? Like, how can you change their organization for the better? And so, if you're not really sure what that value is, I find a great way is to talk to other people. Like
Mhm.
talk to people who, you've worked with, maybe you've partnered with, maybe
Yeah.
you've sat on like working
Mhm.
committees with, and ask them like, what is it that I did for you and for the team that changed things in a positive way, that did, was impactful and did provide value? And I find like even just getting feedback from other people, obviously performance reviews can be a source of that too. But when we talk to other people, we can get a lot of interesting feedback, that really give clues to, what is it that we did, for example, to manage projects under budget? Or what did we do to reduce expenses by identifying some cost-cutting
Yeah.
measures? Maybe your value is that have a real knack for identifying
Mhm.
processes that could be in place that create efficiencies and like time and money and
Yeah.
resourcing. So do what you can to actually come to that value so that you can communicate it when you are looking for new work.
Yeah, I tell people when you are transitioning or if you get laid off, don't go directly and start applying. Have a
Oh,
time,
yes.
reflect, what have you done? Have an accomplishment statement, impactful statement, and if you don't know, everyone is using ChatGPT. This is my resume. What can you do? And then, but don't lie.
Yeah.
Don't make things that you haven't done. Maybe it will give
Right.
you ideas. Is there any website or any exercise that you think people should do to know their values?
Yeah, one of the things that I recommend people do, and I love that said like intentionally reflect on, what it is that you've done over your career before you just go and start applying. And in my book, actually, chapter 3 is called Hit the Pause Button.
Yes.
So what that really refers to is that kind of take that step off the world, do that reflection, because we usually don't do that. We just, take the promotion, we go from job to
Yes.
job, and we don't really reflect on what's important to us, but especially what is the value that we can
Hmm.
provide. So in my book, there's 5 key questions that I ask people to reflect on, like before you start your job search, before you start exploring new career paths. And question number 1 is, what is the work that really fires you up and gives you energy?
Hmm.
Oftentimes that's where the value lies, is in
Yes.
the work that truly gives you joy.
Yeah.
Question number 2 is it's a flip of that. Like, what is the work you can do well, but it drains you? Like, these are not the things that you want to necessarily do too much of in a new job.
Yes.
So taking stock of those things is important. Question number 3 is important too, that is connected to value because it has to do with the environment that you are really successful in.
Hmm.
So, everything to do with, like the values, the mandate of the organization. What kind of leaders does this organization employ, and team members that you would be successful with? Question number 4 is about your transferable skills.
Yeah.
Transferable skills also connects to your value because when you're thinking of things that that you can really do well, that do give you energy, what are the skills that you employ that is connected to that work? So these are skills that are not sector specific, they're not role specific. They're things like delivering customer service, building relationships, leading projects, leading teams, writing reports. Like, all of those things are very transferable. And then question number 5 is so important to ask yourself, and it really changes based on our stage in life,
Mhm.
is what are your non-negotiables and your deal
Yes.
breakers? And those things do change. Like, what was important to you in your career 20 years ago may
Okay.
not
Different. Yeah.
necessarily be important now. And
Yeah.
so when you reflect on those 5 things, it just gives you a way to intentionally seek out those opportunities
Mhm.
that align with those reflections. And those are really the keys of career fulfillment. The more that you follow that path and seek out opportunities that align, the more you'll probably stay at an organization, and the more you'll just be fulfilled in general.
Those are great tips, Michelle. Thank you very much. Again, for the
You're welcome.
audience watching or listening for the first time, I'm going to ask Michelle a couple of questions and I'm going to post them on a daily basis. Kind of a journey with us. You can like, share, and comment. So tune in next time for another great question with Michelle.